what is really the impact of these new accounting standards? I mean, have they lessened at all given the delays?
No, not really. Because the one thing that the FASB has been and GASB and the ISB on the IFRS side have been very consistent is that they haven't gone back and tried to rewrite the rules because we're dealing with an unprecedented environment with COVID and with the economic fallout from it. Instead, they have released a lot of additional implementation guidance, things to answer some questions and maybe tweak around the edges. But the one thing they've done is they've been very consistent about holding true to this new standard and implementing it as is. And I'd say for public companies, they've had a couple of years now that they've kicked the tires on this. They've done some reporting, and if you're in a position where you haven't adopted yet, you're running out of time. In fact, the impact hasn't lessened at all. It's probably increased for you because now you're in a race. You're in a race against time to get the implementation done before the end of this current year. And the longer that you take throughout your year, the more work that you have to do to go back and do restatements and fix everything as of the beginning of the year. From that standpoint, the impact hasn't lessened at all. But the good news is, if you're a private company and even if you're a governmental entity, even if the standards don't relate exactly to you, you're able to go back now. You've got a few years worth of data from the public company. You've got SEC comment letters that you can read about lease accounting. You can read all of the articles and all of the subject matter experts across the board, from lease software providers to big to accounting firms, regional and big four, that can provide a lot of insight and a lot of war stories, if you will, about what they experienced, what they saw during implementation. So the good news is now, and I like to say plagiarism is the sincerest form of flattery, is that you can go back now and look at what everyone else has done, what they've done, what's worked, what hasn't worked, and apply that to yourself, because the public companies had to go it alone at the beginning without any sort of reference point. But if you're not at that point where you've adopted yet, you do have the ability of their hindsight.